We may have found the next Dr. Disrespect, the new person on the calendar, or have we? Because this is a very important topic. A lot of people have been outing FireMonkey and jumping to a bunch of conclusions right now of FireMonkey, who was, I have to be careful with my words here, speaking inappropriately to somebody underage. Might be true, might not be true. That's what we're here to take a look at today. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. We're going to talk about this whole thing in just a second. I really didn't want to make another video today. I already had a video pushed out this morning and Clark convinced me to make this video because I was like, oh, I already have the next couple days planned for videos. Do I just wait on this one? But no, it's huge news. People have been talking about FireMonkey. Fortnite BR Intel had posted some screenshots of some messages. We're going to take a look at those. We're going to take a look at a bunch of replies and what the community is saying in general. I'd give my thoughts on it. And as always, I would love to know what you think about it down below afterwards, guys. Let's get into the video right now. Sorry for the little bit of a long intro. Fortnite BR Intel had this to say: FireMonkey talking inappropriately to minors. And there are a bunch of screenshots. I'm going to take you through these screenshots. And this is the first one over here. And I'm always really weary about believing these because things like this could easily be photoshopped. So I'm not one who's going to be jumping into any conclusions right now. But the problem is, excuse me, I wasn't jumping to conclusions, but FireMonkey admitted to the tweets or the screenshots being real. And we're going to take a look at FireMonkey's response. We're going to take a look at a bunch of joke replies because that's pretty well all I could find at the beginning. And then we're going to take a look at some serious replies. So we're going to get through all of it. It's probably going to be a little bit of a longer video. Anyways, here is what they had to say. What hacks do you use? 13, 15. Oh, well, this oddly brings me to ask about what I was going to ask. Oh, anyways, what are your guys' honest thoughts on hentai? I'm assuming this is FNBR Intel. Horrible. FireMonkey says, why? With a interesting face. Well, I just don't like it, to be honest. Also, I'm asking because I'll probably end up retweeting hentai on my private account. Very strange, especially to have a hentai account, but this continues on. FireMonkey writes, I find not November stupid. No July. I know people that won't pass. And then, I keep getting followers and I keep getting more and more scared that people will see the crap that I post now. FireMonkey said, people who actually care about No Nut November and take it seriously are the ones who have an addiction. That's why I don't participate. I'll nut when I want. Only way to get me to participate in No Nut November is to make it so it supports a charity like how No Shave November does it. And I actually completely forgot about No Shave November. But anyways, it is important to note in this next screenshot that FireMonkey is 17 or 18 years old. From what I have seen around, FireMonkey was 17 years old, but I cannot say that with 100% certainty. 17 years old, I don't know where it is in the rest of the world, but where I live in Canada, 17 years old is a minor, 18 years old is the age of consent. So, FireMonkey, and this is what they were talking about, just other stuff over here, but with this screenshot, you can tell that FireMonkey is just constantly changing the conversation to talk about corn, like Counter-Strike Global Offensive. FireMonkey writes, CSGO hentai. And then, why is PC cleaning so fun? Just checked, CSGO corn exists. And then you want to take care of your baby if it exists, there's corn of it. Flex tape, and then FireMonkey. Well, looking up corn gets a lot worse if you think of your machine as a baby. Yikes. And the problem is, and I don't remember if I just said this, FireMonkey is constantly just changing the conversation a little bit to talk about corn with these 13-year-old kids. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at a lot of different replies. So we're going to take a look at what FireMonkey said, and actually, we're going to take a look at this old reply that was also with the Fortnite BR Intel screenshots. FireMonkey said this a long time ago, apparently, okay? Know what I'm here to say to throw hands tonight. I'm not here to pick sides on some dumb drama, but I am here to point out the fact that it's stupid as, you know, to resurface drama that had been dealt with before and people had grown and changed from it because the person got a skin and a locker bundle in a Fortnite update. Like, Ral is dumb is already a crappy, stupidly toxic person that I honestly could say a lot about, but imagine trying to bring up old drama people have changed and learned a lot from because someone else is having success that you don't have. Get out of here. You are cancelable yourself anyways. And I will say that most people are cancelable, but at the end of the day, most people also haven't spoken inappropriately to people underage. So I'll give my thoughts on it because we're going to take a look at what a lot of people have to say. There's a lot of different tweets that we gathered for this video. And okay, here's the problem. I'm a little bit wishy-washy on this because if he's 17 years old, at the end of the day, it's not criminal. It's not, but it's disgusting. I have never spoken about any one of these topics when I was 17 years old to somebody that was 13 years old, because what is that? It's like if it's about when, like, let's say I was in grade 12, which is just about to graduate high school, talking to somebody in grade 9 who is just entering high school. There is a big age difference there. Did you guys ever back in the day, depending on how old you are, back in high school, if somebody your age when you were 17 was talking to someone who just got into high school, like, that is a kid. That is a little kid, and there's a big difference. I don't care how legal it is, to be honest with you, it's disgusting. Everybody was constantly like, hey, check out the pedo, you know, like, that's what everybody said, and understandably so. It was gross. You are borderline an adult at 17, but the problem is, you're not, right? That's where I'm stuck on this. You're not an adult when you're 17. You can't consent, and I guess it's okay, but I personally don't think that's okay. I think that's disgusting, and if you're somebody who is 17 years old speaking inappropriately to somebody who is 13 years old, I think that you're going to carry that behavior into your adulthood. I think that you are more than capable of that, but it's also important to note, 17-year-olds are dumb. We have all said dumb things when we were kids. And FireMonkey, it's not like a Dr. Disrespect situation. He was just talking about this corn that exists. It's not like he was suggesting anything or trying to hook up with this kid. It's not nearly as bad as everybody's making it seem to me. I'm looking at this and I'm going, that's gross. And what I see now is the capability for FireMonkey to do something like that. That's where I'm sitting on it. So everybody is mostly looking to find a new person on that calendar. You know, every month of 2024, somebody's been outed for being, you know, someone like Dr. Disrespect. I just think it's a little important to note to see both sides of this, because this isn't a like straight up jump to conclusion type thing. It's not like there's these screenshots where it's FireMonkey was saying something like, oh yeah, I want you so bad. You know, it's not like something like that, okay? Let's take a look at what the community had to say. There are a ton of replies. The top replies, which I decided to include because, one, they're funny, two, they were actually the top replies getting the most likes and stuff like that, are jokes. But then as the video progresses, we're going to get into more actual discussions, and we're going to take a look at what FireMonkey had to say himself, because he did address this entire situation. I'm Six Wheels had this to say, not the leaks I expected, a little bit funny there, but let's continue on. Uplots had this to say, bro, is it really that hard to not talk to kids? We got Minecraft YouTubers, Mr. Beast, regular streamers, regular content creators, now Fortnite leakers talking to kids. This is where I'm always at. Like, even if you don't care, like, it's not difficult to talk to kids. And I've always been sitting here like, when you have the big streamers, somebody like somebody in a Dr. Disrespect, and the reason why I keep bringing him up is because we're allowed to talk about Dr. Disrespect, right? You get into a little bit of dicey territory. There's only certain things that we're allowed to talk about, so that's the reason why I keep bringing up Dr. Disrespect. It's easier to say than, you know, the P word, okay? If you are one of those top streamers, you can get literally like any girl that you want. Why a kid? I don't understand. Like, they must be completely messed up. Let's continue on to Narwan area shop update. So ass he got outed out as a groomer. It's just a little bit funny there. Let's continue on to Delta Fire. Why can't people just be normal? This is the one this is exactly my thought process right when I saw this whole thing. Again, why can't people just be normal? Why can't you just not talk about inappropriate things to kids, okay? It's Shark Yops had this to say. He knows he's in a chat full of kids and he's talking like that. Pretty clear he's trying to get them all to talk about it too. They're literally trying to talk about something else and even change the subject, and he just persists with it. It's obvious that they felt very uncomfortable. So I don't know if it was that obvious that they felt uncomfortable, but that's what I took away from it as well. Like, they are talking about other things, and FireMonkey is still going, okay, corn, this CSGO corn, you know? This is kind of where I'm at with it myself. Happy Forever had this to say, before everybody freaks out, hear me out. There's little evidence that this is even real and could be fake. We need to wait before saying anything bad. I would have agreed with this, but FireMonkey did address these posts, and it turns out that they are real. And let's take a look at what FireMonkey had to say about the entire thing right now. Santa Ricky is FireMonkey's alt account. This is what he had to say. Hello, so obviously some serious accusations have been starting to spread about me, so I thought I'd go ahead and share my piece here. FNBR Intel has made a post calling me someone who is inappropriately speaking with minors. The screenshots shared are all from 2019 when I was 17 years old. In the screenshots, it is shown of me talking about topics like hentai, No Nut November, and making jokes about CSGO corn. Obviously weird topics, but at the same time, it was me when I was a minor just talking about edgy topics, and honestly, it's hardly evidence of anything. Talking about the images themselves, I was 17 years old and making edgy jokes. Because of me being a minor, I never thought about anything to find out the ages of people I was joking around with, and I was just saying stupid crap to say stupid crap. I haven't acted like that towards people in ages, and I hardly talk to people now who I don't already have an established friendship with. Regarding the Not Fury tweet from a few years ago being brought up in these images, I have already spoken in regards to the situation before, and I don't feel like I should talk about it in depth again other than me having already talked about it being poorly worded and having apologized to Ral and those involved back in that situation. So, a little bit of a weird reply there. At the end of the day, I think the biggest important note to take away from this is he said that he was 17 years old making edgy jokes. Depending on how old you are watching this video, we all made stupid jokes, stupid edgy things when you were 17, 16, 15, and I'm sure people make edgy jokes from 20 plus. I still make stupid jokes. But the thing is, I would have never, when I was 17 years old, because it's gross, I would have never made edgy, dumb jokes to somebody that was that much younger than me. Now, I get that as you age, it becomes a little bit less important on how old you guys are. But actually, I was just talking to somebody about this, and there's a big difference between, because I know people that are like 40 and dating somebody in their late 20s. Like, that's a huge age difference. I wouldn't do that personally, but there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is, there is a huge difference between a 17-year-old and a 13-year-old, or an 18-year-old and a 13-year-old. These people just entering high school are children. They're still going through puberty. You are borderline an adult. I don't care. I just think it's gross. I don't care that it's legal. But at the end of the day, people, when they're 17 years old, make dumb decisions. They don't think about things like that. Something like this would have not necessarily been on my mind when I was 17. I wouldn't have thought like, hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't be doing that. But the problem is I just wouldn't have done it because it's gross. Like, it should be common sense. Hey, I probably shouldn't talk about these inappropriate images and inappropriate topics with somebody who's this much younger than me. I hope you guys understand where I'm stuck here, because I'm open to the idea of him really just being 17 and being dumb. But, like, that's, I don't know, man. Like, I'm stuck with this. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But there are more replies to FireMonkey and the entire situation in general. Hypex popped up and had this to say, not gonna lie, you effed it up with the "but I was 17" approach, and no apology to those people, especially considering it was 17 years old and 7+ months old with a 13-year-old. Okay, I don't know how true that is. If he was that close to being 18, makes it a little bit worse, but even then, just 17 in general doesn't really matter. But anyways, like, you mean to tell me you were not qualified to being weird until 18 years old and 1 second old 4 months later? Is this the same as she's 16, 17 legal age argument they'd be using, but it flipped around? The whole point is the maturity gap, which was 4 years. Yeah, I know that there has been a big thing where, you know what, that's a conversation that we're not necessarily going to get into, the 16, 17 legal age. At the end of the day, if you're 17 and you hook up with a 17-year-old, I don't care. I'm assuming that's a Cody Ko situation he's talking about. Yeah, I don't care. 25, 17, who cares? That's disgusting. I don't even know if the whole point is the maturity gap, which is 4 years. It's the developmental gap. Like, they're still kids at 13 years old. Look around at a 13-year-old. Can you say that any of your thoughts, like, hey, maybe I should talk about something very inappropriate to that child? Dude, like, you should go to jail. Like, oh, it's crazy, man. But JoJo Josiah also posted this. Is this not them posting their ages? I don't know why you said you weren't trying to find out their ages when it really looks like it. Yeah, I don't know, because it sure looked like it. But then again, I don't think that we saw any messages above that, because it said, what hacks do you use? And then 13 and 15. And FireMonkey still continued on. So it might actually be that. I don't really know, but JoJo Josiah does have a point there. Let's continue on. IHeist had this to say, I was 17 years old before, and my friends and I wouldn't even talk to a 13-year-old. I was sensible enough to know that was not only utterly disgusting, but it was also illegal in my country. What is going on these days? What 17-year-old thinks sex talk with a 13-year-old is okay? This is exactly where I'm at. This is what I like, what IHeist said. Like, I was 17 years old before too. For, if anybody doesn't know, I'm 26 years old right now. When I was 17, I wouldn't even consider of talking to a 13-year-old. There was always that, and I'm sure that people who have graduated high school had this similar experience, but there was always that one guy who was in grade 12 and dated a grade 9. If you don't know what that is, it's somebody who's just about to graduate, someone who's 17 or 18, dating somebody who literally just entered high school, and everybody looked at him like, ugh. Like, you might as well have dated somebody in grade school because they're just entering high school. It's like an borderline adult dating a borderline grade school kid. It doesn't matter the age. I don't care. It's disgusting, man. And we were all sensible enough, just like IHeist said, we were all sensible enough to know that this is utterly disgusting. But at the end of the day, FireMonkey wasn't saying anything like he wants to hook up with these people, but talking about these topics in general. And from my own perspective, which is not true, okay? I just think this myself. FireMonkey could have definitely not had this goal. What were you trying to get at if you're trying to talk about this stuff with minors? Like, were you trying to get into the whole, like, hey, let's share our favorite stuff kind of thing? Like, it's just gross, man. It's disgusting, and they didn't want to talk about it. But what I did find interesting was there was another reply to IHeist over here. CheeseNuts12 had this to say, he didn't sex talk, he just spoke about the topics. Dude is a creep, but not a pedo like you're trying to paint him as. That's also important, but it could have led to something else, but it could not. It might not have. This is why it's such a difficult thing to talk about. IHeist also replied to that. So if you had a 13-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old was talking to then all about different types of weird sex topics, you wouldn't go insane, call the police, and have that 17-year-old arrested for grooming a 13-year-old child? I actually don't think you would be able to do that, but I can say that right now. I have a daughter that just turned 4 months old. Her safety is everything that's been on my mind, like, at all. And I know it's cliche to say, and I know I've said about this about the channel, but I know your parents always tell you that once you have a baby, like, your life completely changes. I can't believe how much my life changed about that. Like, her safety is constantly on my mind. She even breathes wrong. I'm like, oh, like, I'm on it, right? It's just how that happens. And if I can't imagine if she was 13 years old talking to somebody who's borderline an adult, I would go crazy. I like what IHeist had a lot to say over here. I really, really like what he said. Anyways, a user by the name of Little Bear had this to say, it makes sense why FNBR Intel is leaking the info, because he feels like he has to be better since FNBR only have 310.5k followers and FireMonkey has 1.7 million. He thinks leaking this info will make FireMonkey run out of the industry of leaking Fortnite to gain that fame. It's just a little childish adults who do the same job. It was 6 years ago, leave it in the past. I don't really care that it was 6 years ago, and that could be true though. That could be true. He could just be trying to get FireMonkey out of leaking space, but at the end of the day, I don't really care about that. Who cares? Let's continue on. Frenzy Leaks had this to say, no apology. You have been a big egocentric person your whole life, always being rude to people for no reason, disrespecting everyone that thinks differently than you, and now that you are exposed as a, you try to tell us that being with a 17-year-old with 7 months talking to a 13-year-old is normal. Also, saying you've talked about the issue in the past does not excuse that behavior. It does not. I really expected better from a person that for some weird reason is very liked among the community. I hope more people see the light on this issue and really see you for you are, a total, weirdo and a pedo. And I wasn't supposed to say that. Hopefully me saying it, the pedo part is getting around YouTube's thing. But anyways, I don't know personally anything about FireMonkey. I just watch his videos here and there. And I know nothing about him as a person. I don't know if he's been disrespectful to people. I don't know if he's been a big egocentric person his whole life. I don't know about any of that. So if anybody can also expand on Frenzy Leaks, I would appreciate it down below in the comments. I don't know anything about this, but I thought it was interesting enough to include. Novi Nova VR had this to say, I love how everyone misses the fact that he was also a minor and goes straight to the PED card. It's kind of sad no one gives others chances anymore. He was still a kid himself and made a few crappy mistakes. We all have. What's good is that he's learned from it and grew, but I don't know if he's learned from it and grew. He might have, he might not have. This might be just a dumb joke that he made. It could be. It could be. I just don't know, man. It's such a difficult topic to talk about. That's Ricky had this to say, people nowadays are just online lawyers who throw serious accusations on people, and it's disgusting, to be honest. I mean, do they know the age of everyone that they're writing to? And this is important to note too, because everybody is just really, really hell-bent on canceling somebody. Who's going to be it for August? Who's going to be canceled for August? Like, this is, everybody likes to look over the actual situation, go, aha, FireMonkey, that's who it is this time. There's so much more to this conversation, and I know I've been really wishy-washy this entire video. I wish I could give you a solid opinion, but there is more to this topic to be talked about. I hope FireMonkey continues talking about it. If something else opens about it, we'll touch on it. It's just really tough, man. It's really, really tough. For me personally, I think it's disgusting. I don't think any normal person would talk about something like that to kids. That's just me, though. I would imagine that would have led to sharing images, but the problem is, it wasn't. People do make dumb decisions at 17. People do make mistakes. People don't think about that stuff at 17 years old, but it should be common sense to not talk about corn with somebody who's 13. I don't care how legal it is. That's gross. It just is. I hope something more comes from this. I hope you guys understand why I was so back and forth on this entire thing, but I do have a strong opinion on it. But the problem is I don't like to jump on anything without evidence. There's no evidence that FireMonkey was going in that direction. He could have been dumb. That's where I'm stuck on it. but I also don't think that any normal person would do what he did. You understand? Let me know what you think about this entire topic down below. If something else comes from it, we will be making a video. Subscribe for more. We have lots of drama topics to talk about. And for those of you who tag me online, you made my life a lot easier this morning, so I really appreciate that. If there's anything drama going on in the community, tag me. I very much appreciate it. But guys, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for watching. If you're interested, actually, we have another video about FireMonkey and drama surrounding him. You can check that video out right here, guys. I'll see you later. Take care.